Hey guys, welcome back to Arry The Stag. TR Tony here, sat in the car on a bit of a cold and frosty morning, but nice to see the sunshine. I hope you're very well wherever you are. We're in complete lockdown at the moment, as many of you will know, so obviously all trying to stay safe, which means we can't zoom down to Alan's or see how UNY 49M is progressing, but I will be in touch with him hopefully this week with text and pictures. We'll see how progress is going. Many of you will know 2 or 3 weeks ago that we invested in a new 2500S Triumph, one of the big six cars, as the next project coming along behind the Stag, which is getting towards full paint and will be back to us in due course, hopefully not too much longer. And so I thought I'd just spoil myself. Again, I was on the internet the other night, as you are, and checking 1 or 2 auction sites, and there, behold, was a company selling brochures from the 1970s. In this case, it was for the Triumph 2500S. So I just thought I'd buy it, a splash out. It was only about 14 quid, I think it was, and it came through the other day, and I was absolutely blown away. I just wanted to share it with you, really, because it's kind of quite insightful of the time and the fashions and everything else. Anyway, let me just walk you through the brochure, and you can make up your own minds, but I think it's just it's a real scream. It really is. Let's go and have a look. All right, so here is the catalogue, 2500 Triumph, and interestingly, it's got the BL badge there at the very top. You can just see that at the top there, that circular kind of symbol. 2500 is quite iconic for the time, I think. And looking at the back there, you can see various kind of pictures sailing off into the sunset, which looks really cool, doesn't it? And there's a supercar warranty, which basically says if you don't get the service that you deserve here, then they'll actually send a letter to the managing director of the company of Leyland Cars to make sure that the problem's solved quickly and efficiently. So that was pretty good service. I just wonder why they needed to do that. Maybe they had a few problems with it in the past, but who knows? But there you go. That's the catalogue. And just opening it up, what I find absolutely fascinating is the history and the look and the feel of the various pictures. Here you can see the car, the 2500S, collecting a businessman from his flight from wherever he's been. Someone saluting there, as you can see, and the police bike there escorting him off to his next business meeting, no doubt. Lovely colour. I don't know if that's the carmine red colour that we want for our car. It looks pretty similar, actually, just looking at this. Ours is a bit dirty, as you know, but nevertheless, what a stylish car. This one, an N registered vehicle, and looking resplendent in that sunshiny shot on the bottom right there. And a little bit of background about the car, talking about the range of the 6-cylinder saloons, as we know, replaces the 2.5 petrol injection version, presumably because of some of the issues that they may well have had with the fuel injection. As you may know, we've bought an engine with 2.5 PI on it, so it may well be that we have to dial that down a bit and put in standard carburetors or whatever. But so it claims it has the smoothness and silence of the 2000 twin carb, but the performance of the 2.5 twin carb, and that extra touch of distinction and luxury befitting its position as the flagship of the Triumph fleet. And interestingly, it's an executive car with a capital E, and designed and built for those who prefer their quality built in rather than superficially applied to a lesser product in order to justify the executive title. So I think for you and for me, it looks top work, doesn't it? And yeah, it claims that the difference is shown in the way it looks, the way it feels, and the way it goes. And in the following pages are going to show us exactly more about that. So just over the leaf here, the next big kind of picture. And it's nice to see how our 2500 might look eventually with lovely, and I think this is in this case is a velour kind of covering. Obviously the dashboard there, which you will have seen on previous videos, but doesn't that look nice and tidy? I love this feature here, which is the trafficator. It's an indicator light that obviously flashed on. This one is clearly a manual, so you've got the I think it's an overdrive there facility too, so that's looking good. And yeah, some more detail there to look through, walnut veneer and whatever. And then over the page, again, all part of the success story. If you are around at this time, then it's executive travel, coming out of a very posh hotel by the looks of it, with your Batman or your bag handler putting the bags in the boot for you, which is awfully kind of them, and your partner there wearing, I don't know if that's a Bieber hat or outfit, but that was the fashion of the day, and often very brown in the 70s, as we all know. And looking ahead under the bonnet then, and you can see the inline six there looking really tidy, which gives us some clues when we're putting our car back together. And obviously out and about in the streets is Dewhurst the Master Butchers, if anybody remembers those from back in the day, and also Curry's. Remember Curry's television hire place as well. Choice of manual or automatic, as you can see there, and pictures of gear knobs and gear sticks. And okay, back in the day, they were still very keen on lighting up, and hard to imagine now, but in those days, everybody smoked, it seemed, and no exception there, bad though it is, as we all know. And yeah, the car parked outside the pub, looking very trendy and fashionable. And all very good. And then you've got some specifications, some dimensions, and some specs on the final page here, which I can go through. But yeah, just interesting to look through what was a period piece of the 2500S, and that is in the library now and will be looked at quite frequently, I think, when we come to rebuild, to see what little elements need to be factored in and which details we need to make sure that we're getting right as we put it back together. Happy days. All right, guys, well, I hope you found that interesting. I'm just fascinated by all this history, just the look and feel and the touch of this brochure that harks back to 1977 or whenever it was first produced. A, is just really interesting, and B, for me, all those photographs in there just evoke the feeling of what the car was designed to do back in the day. I had no idea actually that these cars were considered to be the kind of top end international jet setter kind of motor, and it's just a joy to see how this car should look in the future. So we're going to try and make that happen. As many of you know, we've bought a separate engine. It is a 2.5 PI, but I understand we can put different carbs on it, which will then not make it a petrol injection, but a normally aspirated carb, which probably is a little bit more reliable than the petrol injection derivative. But we have both options, so we will be exploring those in due course. I'm already seeking panels, and I've found a really good guy in Cardiff, as I may have mentioned in a previous video, who is expert at reproducing these panels and is well known in the Triumph 2002 500S club and the PI club. So I'll be tapping into him. I've already got my shopping list on already and on the go, because it does need quite a few panels. But I don't want this to be a long project, as UNY 49M has been. As soon as that car, the Stag, is back home, I want to be tanking into this one and see if we can get it back on the road as quick as, subject to lockdown and COVID and everything else, of course. But there you go. But I hope you shared my somewhat Anaraki enthusiasm to look at the period of time, the magazine, and just a few pages, but exciting, I think, and I just find it really interesting. Good. Okay, well, I hope you're having a great week wherever you are, guys. Please stay safe, and we'll look after each other, and we'll see you online on Arry the Stag very soon. All the best for now. Cheers. Bye.